morning and welcome back to Question Incense with me, Matt. Okay, well, the weather today in South London is pretty grey, it's grim. We've been having a pretty good summer so far, but today it's not very good. So I thought this would be the perfect opportunity to film another review from the House of Zoologist. I've recently done T-Rex, so as I explained, my friend Sharon sent me some samples of a few of the range. So we have T-Rex, we have elephant, and we have camel. And today I'm going to be looking at elephant. So here's the sample here, and I shall give it another little spray before we do the review as per normal. There we go. Now, this was released in 2017 and the perfumer is Chris Bartlett. And like with T-Rex, I think the focus on elephant is more about the surroundings that you would find an elephant in rather than a fragrance that smells of an elephant. In fact, it does such a good job of recreating the environment you'd find an elephant in. I was prompted to dig this t-shirt out, which I bought in Goa in India many years ago, and I'm surprised to find that it still fits, so that's pretty good. Okay, so back to elephant. What we'll do now is I'll have a quick run through of the notes, and then we'll talk a little bit more about what I can smell and what I think of the fragrance and where it'd be appropriate to wear, that sort of thing. So if we look at the notes at the top, we have tree leaves, we have Darjeeling tea, and we have Magnolia. And then in the heart we have coca, coconut milk, incense, jasmine, and woods. And then at the base we have amber, we have musk, we have patchouli, and we have sandalwood. So what do you get? Well, first and foremost, when you spray elephant, you are instantly transported to the hot, steamy jungles of India, and I find this to be quite a surprising simulation of that environment, because it really does smell like you're there. It's a very green fougere in its opening. It's punchy. It's got some of the most realistic green notes I think I've ever smelled in anything. It's absolutely stunning, and I know I'm going to sound like I'm gushing about Zoologist again, but they have knocked it out the park with this one. It's such a beautiful scent. It is slightly reminiscent of Beach Up Man, but without the mint note. There does seem to be an almost minty vibe coming from elephant, although there is no mint listed in there, and I'm not quite sure whether it's just a combination of the other notes that has given a minty impression, but it does remind me a little of Beach Up Man. It's not the same, you know, they don't, if you put them side by side, they wouldn't smell necessarily alike, but they both open quite green, and they're both certainly in the fougere camp. Performance on this is again outstanding. The projection straight up, you can tell straight away it projects. And I mean, I am wearing it at the moment, so I've just sort of topped up for the sake of the review. But it does project quite loudly for the first couple of hours. It certainly sort of kicks out, and you'll certainly, you know, your presence will be felt for sure. And thankfully, you'll smell like a jungle, not an elephant. Now, I suppose because the perfume has a very loud opening, that is kind of reminiscent of the roar of an elephant, or the trumping of an elephant, for want of a better word. But this is all about the jungle. This is beautiful. As it calms down, you'll find that the coca and the coconut and the woods come together. But it's clever because the coconut milk, I think they call it, gives it a sort of a creaminess. I mean, the coconut and the sandalwood combine together to give a very creamy base as time goes on. I mean, it's a very long-lasting fragrance. And they combine together to give a sweet, woodsy, creamy base that everything else works on top of. Very clever stuff. Very good. And what it's done is the green notes are quite sharp. There's almost a bitterness to start off with, and then as that calms down, and the sweetness from the coconut and the coca still is there, but it's not overly defined. It just gives a slight bitterness to the whole proceedings, and then the coconut milk and the sandalwood combine to give a sort of a softer, slightly warmer, creamy affair, which makes this very wearable. It's a completely unisex fragrance. I think when you compare it to T-Rex, for example, they're completely different fragrances at completely different ends of the market, but both have got amazing longevity and both have got amazing performance, so they are similar in that respect. Elephant to me is just a holiday in a bottle that you could take yourself on. really does transport you to that sort of hot, steamy jungle environment, and it's really, really, really well executed. The blending, as with all the zoologists that I've tested so far, has been exemplary. They're a joy to wear. This, to me, is perfect for the office. It's perfect for casual. It's perfect for formal. You can wear it anywhere. It's a real delight. And if you're a fan of green fougères, then this is going to be right up your street. The other notes, the incense comes in to give it it takes you back to India. There's that incensey vibe that does come in towards, once the opening is kind of finished and the dry down starts, the incense becomes more apparent, and there is an incensey vibe to it. But it's not an incense frag by any means. It's not challenging in any way, shape or form. The only challenging aspect of this would be that it's quite loud when it opens, but once it's calmed down, this is so wearable. It's absolutely glorious. I can't recommend this enough. I think you should definitely be getting a sample of it. And again, congratulations to the Zoologist for making such an interesting fragrance, bucking the trend of making stuff that's very generic. This is completely, the only thing, as I say, that I've smelt that's remotely like it would be Beach Hut Man. So I'm really keen for everybody, to get a go of this and then see what they can find out about it and see what they think about it. Thank you very much to Sharon again for sending me these samples. I'm really enjoying them, and I thoroughly recommend that you have a go at Elephant. Try and get yourself some samples and give it a wear. It's a beautiful fragrance. So thank you very much for your time. There's another review coming up of Camel, and obviously there's a lot more reviews coming as well. So hope to see you next time. Thanks very much. Cheers. Bye.